Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Today, we're going to get you up to date on some of the huge cruise news. Breaking overnight yesterday, the CDC has released new recommendations against cruising. We're going to tell you what you got to know. If maybe you're a little bit fluffy or a little bit on the older side, maybe you have a pre-existing condition, CDC says maybe you want to avoid cruising. We'll give you all the details and some resources you can use to determine if you're still wanting to take that cruise. Also, I received a text message this morning from CDC Cruises telling me that I had to be fully vaccinated to go on my September 30th MSC Divina cruise. So it's happening just like we reported on earlier this week. The new Bahamas ruling requiring everyone 12 and older to be vaccinated is having implications. So that's something I feel like you need to know. Also, why am I holding a piece of bacon? Well, BACONGATE. We're not out of the woods yet. And Carnival Panorama set sail from the West Coast. Plus, a new Royal Caribbean ship headed to China has begun her sea trials. Let's get into the news. First up, BACONGATE. Carnival Cruise Lines will only serve bacon to guests on alternate days as it struggles with the shortage of the breakfast staple. From Yahoo News. In an article by Zara Taib on Saturday, August 21st, Carnival Cruise Line is dealing with a bacon shortage on its ships. We reported this last week. If you are subscribed to the Midships channel, you would already know. I know there's a lot of you that are very faithful viewers and you participate heavily in the comments section. I see you and know who you are. I very much appreciate your support. If you've not yet subscribed, get subscribed. Also, we are currently active in a giveaway. That's right. We're giving away some cruise-related items. I will link in the description below to the video that tells you exactly how to enter the giveaway. Now back to BACONGATE. Carnival said the company will temporarily only serve bacon every other day on its ships to combat the current shortage. Brand ambassador John Heald reported, "If we serve it every day, we will have to run out by the end of the week." So the bad news continues for us carnivores aboard Carnival ships. Hopefully BACONGATE can sort itself out because dang, that stuff is good. All right, let's talk about the huge news dropping overnight. Yesterday, late in the evening, the CDC announced new recommendations for certain individuals boarding cruise ships. We're going to talk about those recommendations now. In an article from USA Today's Bailey Schultz entitled "CDC Warns Older Adults, Travelers in COVID High-Risk Groups Not to Take Cruises, even if they are vaccinated." The CDC has updated its guidance for travelers who are at an increased risk for severe illness from COVID-19 to recommend that they fully avoid cruise ships regardless of their vaccine status. The new guidance applies to older adults, people with certain medical conditions, and pregnant or recently pregnant individuals. The CDC's website says the virus can spread easily between people in close quarters aboard ships, and the chance of getting COVID on a cruise could be high. So we have seen some breakthrough cases aboard cruise ships, even in the vaccinated community of cruisers, and it looks like the CDC is sort of trying to get a handle on that and maybe sort of pull back the leash that they've extended to these cruise lines. It was my personal opinion that the cruise lines have been handling things quite well, especially if you look at some of the protocols that, say, Royal Caribbean has in place, where they're actually sending people home aboard private transportation so they can get the best appropriate medical care for their condition. So there's a website from the CDC that lists this guidance specifically, and I'll show it to you here. This website will be linked below in the description. Something of note on this website that I don't think any of the other cruise YouTubers have reported is this line here. So, along with testing, passengers who have not been fully vaccinated, this would be your children under 12 who are on the cruises with you. This applies to them. Passengers who have not been fully vaccinated who cruise should self-quarantine for 7 days after cruise travel, even if they test negative. If they do not get tested, they should self-quarantine for 10 days after cruise travel. So this is a big thing for families with kids. So if you are cruising with your children, they do not have to have a vaccine if they are under 12, yet the CDC recommends they quarantine for 7 to 10 days after disembarkation from their cruise. So please build in some time for this type of safety measure. Again, these cruises are a luxury, and we definitely want to keep this industry as safe and as worry-free as possible for people. And honest to God, keep these freaking stories out of the news. I'm sick of hearing all of this sensationalism from all of these mainstream news outlets that are just hammering down on cruises like it's some kind of evil, that people would want to actually enjoy their hard work and their savings and enjoy their life. It's honestly quite frustrating. I'm going to stop ranting right there. I could go on for 10 minutes. Let's talk about Carnival again and their cruise ship, the Panorama. In an article from cruiseindustrynews.com, Carnival Panorama marks Carnival's return to the West Coast. Carnival Cruise Line is returning to the West Coast today as the Carnival Panorama resumes service in California. Based out of Long Beach, the 2019 built vessel is departing today on a 7-night cruise to the Mexican Riviera. These are quite popular cruises. It's definitely on my bucket list. Have not cruised the Mexican Riviera yet, but you better believe it. We'll be on there in the next year or two. The sailing marks the return of the brand to the region after a 17-month operational pause. Now, something you got to realize, this Carnival Panorama, this is basically still a brand new ship. She went into service in 2019, sailed a few cruises, and then guess what happened? 2020 rolls around and boom, shut down. So this ship basically still brand new. If you're a West Coast cruiser, the Panorama may be that new cruise ship smell experience you are looking for. Back to the article. Before returning to Long Beach, the vessel will visit Cabo San Lucas, a city known by its rock formations and beaches. One of Carnival's newest and biggest ships, the Panorama, will visit 3 different destinations in Mexico. This is going to be a tongue twister. I'm going to try to get this one out. So the Panorama is slated to sail a 7-night itinerary every Saturday out of Long Beach. Let's talk a little bit more about the ship herself. Built in Italy, the 4,000-guest Carnival Panorama is the last in a series of 3 ships known as the Vista class. Larger than its predecessors, these ships introduced new features for the Carnival brand, such as the Sky Ride, a twin-track suspended bike course. The Vista class also debuted the Havana Staterooms, Carnival's first cabin enclave, complete with its own private pool deck and lounge and lanai balconies. Other highlights include Sky Zone, a trampoline park, and the Carnival Kitchen program, a hands-on culinary experience led by the cruise line's chefs. Both attractions were first introduced by the Carnival Panorama. So that's great news for my West Coast-based cruise fans. You guys now can hop a 7-night Mexican Riviera cruise aboard an essentially brand new ship in the Carnival Panorama. Now, when we're talking about brand new ships, who else comes to mind? Royal Caribbean, of course. They have a new ship. It is destined for China, but we've got to talk about it because these are just too big to ignore. CruiseIndustryNews.com is reporting new Royal Caribbean ship leaves on her sea trials. Royal Caribbean International's new Wonder of the Seas has departed on her sea trials. The Oasis-class ship will now spend a few days at sea testing the systems and performance with teams from the shipyard, vendors, class society, and other stakeholders aboard. Originally set to debut this year, the Wonder of the Seas will now enter the cruise market in 2022 and become the largest cruise ship in the world and the 5th Oasis-class ship in service after the Oasis, Allure, Harmony, and Symphony of the Seas. The ship is being deployed to the Chinese market and will be the first Oasis-class ship to sail in Asia. She could arrive in the market as soon as spring of 2022, should everything go as planned. That is the news for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Midships. If you've not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that button. Again, our contest runs until the 25th at noon Eastern. If you would like to enter to win, you simply need to follow the link in the description below that will tell you how to enter. Our towel bands and our cruise lanyards, Thank you so much for tuning in to the Midships family. We will see you on the Midships.